Secretary, the Minister of Interior and National Administration, Honorable Kithure Kindiki, to guide the rest of the program. Yes, sir.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, all distinguished guests and senior officials of government present, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, I take this opportunity to thank you for finding time to come and preside over this passing out parade of our prison officers. Your Excellency, I take this opportunity to congratulate all the graduates and to wish them well even as they start their career in this very esteemed Kenya Prison Service and as they serve our country. Your Excellency, sir, we have a few requests to make as the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. The first, Your Excellency, sir, we are facing a congestion problem within our prisons. We therefore request you, sir, in exercise of the powers conferred upon you by the Constitution of our country regarding the power of mercy, to approve the request which is before you so that we can have those that qualify for presidential pardon, whether they are serving short-term or long-term sentences, can be set free, and that will go a long way, Your Excellency, in decongesting our prisons. Secondly, Your Excellency, the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, through your leadership and guidance, will be seeking further review of the Prisons Act, Cap 90 of the laws of Kenya, as well as the prisons and correctional services policy of our country. And we request you to support us even as we work through the structures within cabinet which you chair, so that we can modernize and improve our legislative and policy framework in this sector, so that we can align it with the changing times regarding correctional services. Your Excellency, sir, thirdly, we request you to facilitate the ongoing engagement between the Ministry of Interior and National Administration and the ministry responsible for lands, physical planning, housing, and urban development, so that we can get title deeds for our various prison parcels of land. Right now, we have numerous prison land parcels that do not have title deed, and some of this land has been encroached on by land grabbers, and therefore we request you, sir, to facilitate that ongoing engagement under your leadership, so that every prison land can get a title deed in the shortest time possible. Your Excellency, sir, fourthly, we request you again under your leadership to facilitate the ongoing engagement between the Ministry of Interior and National Administration and the Ministry for Agriculture and Livestock Development to assist us to mechanize our prison farms so that we can increase productivity and make use of large tracts of arable land measuring up to 22,000 acres scattered across this country in 121 parcels of land. We believe, Your Excellency, mechanization of our farms will improve production and contribute to the country's quest for national food security. Your Excellency, sir, the Kenya Prison Service, especially the staff, continue to face acute shortage of housing and other amenities and infrastructure. Through your leadership, we intend to use the public-private partnerships arrangement so that we can attract investors and other partners who can help us modernize our infrastructure and provide dignified housing for our staff, and even the prison facilities can be upgraded through the PPP model, which you have asked us to explore. Again, we'll be presenting to you the request for partnerships for infrastructural development. Your Excellency, finally, this sector, the security sector generally, continues to improve the terms and conditions and welfare of our staff, and therefore we urge you again to help us even as we try to improve the welfare of our Kenya Prison Service officers, and also to address the issues of their career progression and promotion, as we will be presenting proposals to you again for your concurrence and approval. Your Excellency, I now, before I invite you, would like to reaffirm and reiterate the vision of the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, not only to modernize the security sector through a better and professional services within the sector, but also through improving the equipment and tools of work available to our various officers in the various formations within the security sector. In this regard, Your Excellency, the vision of the Ministry of Interior and National Administration is to facilitate and oversee the transformation of the Kenya Prison Service into a service that it is supposed to be, to serve the people, and also specifically to take care of those members of our society who find themselves in correctional facilities as a result of breaking the law. The ministry, and indeed the prison service, believes that other than condemning and humiliating those of us who have found themselves to be on the wrong side of the law and who have been convicted by our courts, rehabilitation and their restoration to society is the overall objective. In this regard, we believe in the fair and humane treatment of our prisoners, and we will be working again under your leadership and guidance to ensure that we improve on the treatment of offenders, including remandees and prisoners who have been convicted by our courts, to make sure they develop and acquire useful skills and that they are able to reintegrate with society upon release, so that prison should not be seen as a place for condemnation and radicalization of offenders, but should be seen as a place for restoring and rehabilitating our fellow citizens who have found themselves in prison or in remand because of the criminal justice system. and the law of our country as required. With those many remarks, Your Excellency, I want now to request those who are seated to be upstanding as I invite His Excellency William Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, to address the graduates and all the guests. Welcome, Your Excellency.